This is one of the best things the 49ers have ever done. Good morning. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Grant Cohn, and I gotta admit, I was starting to think the 49ers were having a bad offseason. I was starting to think the 49ers might not make the playoffs next season. I was starting to think the Niners wouldn't make a big move this offseason. And I gotta admit, I kind of fell into the content creator trap of sort of wanting to be negative for clicks and make a big splash and have a strong take. And I didn't even give this first-class championship organization until Saturday to write them off. I already gave their free agency a D. So then in my face, first thing, Saturday morning, before I even wake up, the 49ers sign 9-time Pro Bowler Kyle Juszczyk. 9 Pro Bowl appearances. Have the Rams signed a player who's gone? No. Joe Montana didn't go to 9 Pro Bowls. This is a game changer. Anytime you can add a player of Kyle Juszczyk's skill set and leadership to a team like this, we're not just talking NFC West first place. No. We're talking Super Bowl. Are the Niners as good as the Eagles now? Not yet. No, but they just added a 9-time Pro Bowler and the draft is coming up. And we know the Niners are better at drafting than the Eagles. So I would say that yes, the Niners probably are going to win a Super Bowl this year. And when we look back and when we're at the parade, we'll think back to March 15th, when out of nowhere, the 49ers managed to sign one of the most decorated players in NFL history, 9 Pro Bowls. Did I mention? Who went to Harvard? And it's like, you could say that George Kittle's the best player on the team, right? But actually, it's Juszczyk, because no one has as diverse of a skill set as Juszczyk. He can block, he can run, he can catch, he can kick, he can throw. So he's a 5-tool football player. Trent Williams, great player. Can he run? No. Can he catch? No. Can Kittle run? No. So you just secured the best player on your team, maybe in the league, one of the most dangerous weapons for $4 million a year. This is why the Niners keep winning Super Bowls, because of shrewd moves like this. This is what puts you over the top. This is why they're the Niners and everyone else is just sort of trying to copy what they do. So big day for the franchise, big day for me, big day for everyone, big day for the United States of America and North America in general. So I want to bring on a couple of my friends, my co-hosts, Maz Sports, Nick Talk Niner. Can you guys just sort of help the people understand what happened? Like what a big day this is.
You want to go first, Maz?
Dude, this is the greatest day ever. I woke up, I look at the news. Grant, I don't know if you did the same. I almost shed a tear.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was emotional. It was emotional, is what it was.
2-year deal, $8 million. It's probably $1 million per carry, which I love.
Yeah.
Man, it's just, Grant, I don't know. I'm so happy right now. This offseason was going great, I thought. And now we just made it even better, signing Kyle frickin' Juszczyk. I don't know what he does, but whatever he does it good.
You got to respect that he does it. It's hard to say what he does, but he definitely does it. And I respect that, man. He's still doing it.
Because the Steelers, they weren't really, I thought they were going to sign him, right away, but they didn't really want to. Then
if they had gotten Juszczyk, you'd be talking about how many Super Bowls in a row can they string together. But 100%. now the Niners are in that conversation.
1,000%. This puts us in the Super Bowl conversation without a doubt.
Yeah. And then you add in Luke Farrell on top of that. I mean, it's just not fair. Nick, what do you think of this move? I mean, is this an embarrassment of riches? Should there be more restrictions? Should the NFL change a rule to sort of prevent the Niners from being able to do this?
I thought they were going to make another NFL team just for Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's going to be 33. Yeah. Yeah. But you were going through that list. You were saying he can block, he can pass, he has all these tools.
He does, Nick. Stop.
Can he really do any of those anymore?
I'd like to see him play some defense. Like Travis Hunter's going to go to both. Why not Kyle Juszczyk? I feel like the Niners just hold him back, and it's a tragedy.
Should we throw him at linebacker next to Fred?
Yes.
Yes. The starting linebacker.
Yes. Who's going to replace Dre Greenlaw? Juszczyk. Who's going to replace Jake Moody? Juszczyk.
I would like to see that. I'd give him that.
To be honest, that's actually one person I would actually like to see Juszczyk replace is Jake Moody.
I'd let him.
So how many wins are we thinking this year? 15?
16.
16?
Yep. 100%.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's see what the people think. Official Beta Music 88 says you took spreadsheet script. No. I'm more positive about. There's no way that Lombardi can be more positive about this transaction than me. I think it's better than he thinks it. I think it's way better than whatever he thinks. And he's going to say it's good, but I think it's better. Yeah. I'm more positive today. So I feel. Thomas Dela Cruz says, can we get a Fernando back to Niner football, Grant? One Fernando for you. And for Juszczyk. Denial says, who gets at least 8 wins by the end of 2025 season? Us or the Giants? Pronounced Dan-I-L. Oh, Dan-I-L. Jesse and Coach. Who gets at least 8 wins by the end of the season? Us or the Giants?
Giants.
The Niners are going to get 16 wins next year. Are you kidding?
100%.
Jorge Meza. Did the betting odds change now that the Ewers? Why don't we check? Let's see, US. Courtesy of Bet US. Who has the best odds? Oh, the Niners. Plus 1,600. They may not have registered yet that Juszczyk is back on the team. Now that Juszczyk is back, I mean, really, they're going to be the odds-on favorite. But I think this is a great opportunity to get them before that happens.
Dude, even at plus 1,600 is
crazy, dude.
Well, I mean, they're obviously better than the Rams. Like, what have the Rams done this offseason? Nothing. Oh, Devontae Adams? Huh. You lost Cooper Kupp, though.
Exactly.
Are they just expecting the Packers to miss on every single draft pick and the Commanders and us to hit on? Like, are we just going to draft 11 All-Pros? Are we going to draft 3 7th-round All-Pros, Grant? Is
it that they feel like anyone who would actually wager on like an NFL Super Bowl future bet in March is a super casual fan? So just put like teams they've heard of up top. Is that what it is? Because like, why would you 100%. Make this bet now when you could wait till like after the draft?
Well, I would imagine that the Niners are probably one of the most bet teams, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but if you're looking at our team now, like
it's like
but I mean even
8 for casual bettors.
Yeah, even the last 2 years with the like us being the odds-on favorites back. I mean, we were the odds-on favorites going into last year, and we went 6-11.
But Nick, on paper, I thought on paper. Now our team on paper, I don't even know if it's that good. On paper.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take some more of these super chats. So much winning, I can't stand it, says HR. I know. It's just unfair. Den-IL says, and no, the schedule doesn't guarantee a thing. I mean, dude, this season is going to be a cakewalk for the Niners. Nathan Flores says, spreadsheet said no one in the NFL does the things that Juice does. It's true. No one does. I'm telling you, he's the most skilled football player I've ever seen. He can do everything. Unreal. And this is the year he's going to play linebacker. Official BNA Music 88 says Luke, Juice, Kittle plus 5 linemen equals new booty push. Tush push? We can call it the new booty push.
Yes, the booty push.
Grant, they signed Juice back purely to spite you, says Xavier. Yeah, well, in their face, because I love the deal. Vincent Campos says Mandy wanted SF to bring him back to troll you, Grant. Well, joke's on everyone else because I think it's a wonderful thing. My question is, are they rebuilding fully or rebuilding halfly? Is this a full-blown rebuild or a half-ass rebuild?
Well, first off, I want to mention when you were listing all those great things about Juice, and you forgot to mention that he can literally be mentioned with a single emoji. What player in the NFL can be mentioned with a single emoji? That's aura. Juice.
It is.
Right. It's like Magic.
Yeah.
Juice.
Yeah.
It's like he's like in the Magic Johnson. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's aura. To answer the question, I brought this up. I think it's a half-ass rebuild.
Okay. Well, no.
If you're going full rebuild, you're listening to trade offers for Bosa, like we talked about in the last show we had together. You're listening for trade offers even on Purdy.
McCaffrey.
You can get the fact that listen, I am a McCaffrey stan. I love Christian McCaffrey, but the fact that with where our team's at and he's still on the Niners is, I don't even know the word for it. It's almost like despicable. Like, figure out what you're doing, because if you're going to half-ass it, and have a guy like McCaffrey still on your team who's going to take up what 20? I think he makes like 23 maybe mil a year, and the injury history. Like, what are you doing? I don't understand it. I don't know.
I think that shows that it's a half rebuild, that we still have McCaffrey.
100%.
I think if it was a full rebuild, I think McCaffrey would be out of the door. We'd be hearing Nick Bosa trade rumors. It is a half rebuild. I don't really understand it. Maybe it's not a half rebuild. Maybe they're just trying to retool. I don't know if that's the same thing, but retooling maybe. I don't know. I mean, signing Juszczyk, we're not rebuilding. We're not full rebuilding. We're back, baby. We're back.
Yeah, I mean, this is a juggernaut. I think what they're trying to do is like simultaneously slash a ton of spending, but keeping the facade real that like, hey, no, we're still contending.
Yeah,
we're still a good team. We still have our core, and Juszczyk is an irreplaceable member of that core. Sure, we got rid of Dre Greenlaw, whatever, but we have Juice.
Yeah.
No, but
I'm just saying, it seems to me like they're trying to put asses in seats. Like they're trying to sell merch. They're trying to sell season
Don't sell your season tickets.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're gonna be good this year. We're gonna win.
They're still raising the prices instead of like actually going for a full rebuild. Like you can't. You have to get lucky, and I'm not saying the Niners can't do it, but they're gonna have to get lucky. They're gonna have to hit on 7 to 8 out of the 11 of these players, and then next year's draft, they're gonna have to do the same thing. And it's like, yeah, you can do that, but with the Niners draft history outside of last year's draft, have they really ever done this?
No.
Like, who are we kidding?
Exactly. Like the thing I don't understand.
Ourselves.
The thing I don't understand is why, like, genuinely, I know we're trolling, but what does Juszczyk actually do? Like when we released him, I was like, oh my God, this is actually a great move. Like we're moving past. I think the only reason we signed him back is because Claire Kittle on her stories posting, oh, why did they get rid of Juszczyk? All that. Like, why Juszczyk doesn't do, what does he do? He doesn't. We pay him.
He's really good friends with George Kittle. That's really important, dude.
It'd be like locker room camaraderie, if anything.
No, but people say he's so important in the locker room, dude. He's almost 34 years old. The average age in an NFL locker room is like 25. Man, you really, I don't see him. He wasn't in the locker room this year when I was there. He was hiding all year, not talking to us. But he does have aura, though.
Listen, the thing that I don't understand about Juszczyk is we pay him money, but like we don't like even give him the ball. Well, last year we gave him the ball against Buffalo in the 1 yard line, and he fumbles it. But like, what does he do? We don't.
You really can't put a price on those 250 yards and 2 touchdowns a season that he gives you.
We don't use him. So what's the?
They never have.
Wait. Let me. Okay. Wait. I agree, and I'm more so like I think I've been deeper on this. Like Juszczyk is a no-go, but hear me out. I just thought of this. What if Juice actually like returns to maybe 2-3 years ago form because Debo's gone and he's not getting force-fed to block for Debo, and then get handed a terrible play call where he's on the 1 yard line and fumbles against Buffalo. Like stuff happens like that, obviously. But what if he's not having to block for Debo every play, and it goes back to 3 years ago, Juice, where you were throwing him wheel routes and nobody's on him because he slips out of the backfield. You know what I mean? Like, I see a world where that actually happens, because last year it seemed to me like he actually had zero role. It was, hey, block for Debo, and he wasn't very good at it. Like he's kind of lost his block, I will say.
But then why are we like? He's kind of lost. He's never really had speed. He like, dude, that Bills game last year, that just represented his whole season. That was his whole year. Just
he's also
blocking.
He's also getting matched up by linebackers, though. Like
I understand that too, but
linebackers. Like he's not being a Fred Warner.
When they signed Luke Farrell, people were like, "I love this move because it shows that the Niners are kind of moving away from the fullback and they're embracing 12 personnel." And I mean, Lombardi said that this is a great evolution. It's like, nope. So, what was the point of Luke Farrell? I mean, is he gonna play more than Sobert did, or is he just a very expensive Eric Sobert?
Dude, what's the point of a fullback? What teams have a fullback? I know the Cowboys have a fullback.
Ravens,
Chargers.
It's so unnecessary.
Not a lot of teams. What does a fullback do? Why do we need a fullback, dude?
Because Kyle Shanahan needs to be different. He needs to be a little bit different than everyone else. And if he were to, right, it's his little signature. It's his little.
I don't know, but to your Luke Farrell
aesthetic
point,
flair.
to the Luke Farrell point, if we don't draft another tight end that can catch the damn ball,
Right.
Luke Farrell
I'm going to lose it. No, he cannot.
He's a skinny offensive tackle.
He cannot. Okay.
What is?
We need like I was wanting them to draft like Colson Loveland, like somebody like that, or like or even Arande Gadsden. Like there's so many tight ends that can catch the ball. Why are we like? Yes, why are we gonna have a tight end like Luke Farrell who is known for his blocking? Like I would rather draft somebody who can catch the ball and learn obviously more from Kittle as far as routes go, stuff like that, and have Kittle teach him how to block. Okay, because we've never had a second tight end that can catch the ball.
No,
never.
And what's annoying is Kyle always wants like one of his 5 eligible receivers to be a guy who's a complete non-threat as a receiver. You take Juszczyk off the field and bring Farrell off the field. It's the same thing. It's just a different size of blocker.
Kyle, like John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, they're really good at signing absolutely nobodies. Like they just signed the most random people. Like who's Luke Farrell? Didn't he have like 60 yards last season?
He's never scored a touchdown in 4 years.
So like what? Like
so week 1
3-year deal.
Week 1 bet US hammer it because we're talking shit about it. Kyle's gonna feed him week 1 hammer anytime.
Yeah, Kyle's watching right now, being like, oh, "Okay, all right." Watch how many times I get the ball to Juszczyk. But this is the thing that happened last year with us and Kyle. Like with the whole year, we were like, "Hey, man, you need to stop. You need to stop it with Debo. You need to stop." And he was like, "What do I got to do? I need to keep giving Debo the ball. Give it to him more Debo. Is that what you're saying?" And it was like, "No." So. Yeah, let's reverse psychology this one. Kyle, if you're watching, love the Juszczyk signing, love the Farrell signing. We think the more of them, the better. So we fully support that.
Farrell tied in 1, Kyle.
We think Farrell's going to really have a big breakout year this year.
Screw Kittle.
Yeah, what, Kittle? Why would you even extend him? Like, Kittle probably saw this news and was like, damn, dude, forget the extension. Luke Farrell's on the team. Oh, my God. I have to compete.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah. Thomas Delacruz says, did Pitt not offer Tang enough so he came back? There was a report that Pitt offered Tang even more, which just shows you what an incredible human being.
Did he really?
Forget football player.
Yeah. Dude, I just don't.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like we're trying to
HR says Juice is like Dom, the security guy in the Eagles. He is there to protect Kyle.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That is a perfect whole HR. That was yes.
That's why you don't see him. That's why you don't see him in the locker room after. He's walking Kyle out to his car.
Yeah.
Rod Simmons says $8 million to be trash back. He reset the trash market. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, the thing is, if we use Kyle Juszczyk, maybe this whatever. Sure, maybe this contract is not worth it. I don't care. It's never going to be worth it. But maybe it's somewhat worth it. But we don't use the guy. So if we don't use him, then this contract is so stupid. It's so stupid.
And I was looking into it. Like I still haven't gotten the full answer, but I'm pretty sure we take a dead cap hit because we cut him.
Yes.
Then we
more
have
than $3 million.
Yeah.
Business 101. Business 101.
I don't know. It's so
Nick, don't hate the player, hate the game.
I'm not hating the player or the game. I'm hating Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch's decisions. I'm not hating either.
Okay, so look. So we thought Parag Marathe was taking control of this team, but so far, the moves on offense seem very much like
100%.
In order to they're here to placate Kyle. You signed a blocking tight end to a 3-year deal. It's like, Kyle, be happy. You brought back Juszczyk. Kyle, be happy. And you signed Mac Jones. I like the deal. It was 2-year deal is cheap, but this is such a Kyle Shanahan move. He's been wanting this guy since 2021. I still think the organization straight up vetoed his ability to take him with the 3rd pick, which is like good. You shouldn't take him with the 3rd pick. Much better to get him 4 years later on a 2-year deal for $7 million. Now you got him. How does this affect things with Brock? Does it affect things with Brock? Does this give the Niners any leverage? What do you guys think of this move?
Nick,
go ahead,
go first. Okay, I'll go first. For me, I don't like. I like this signing. I mean, I kind of think Mac Jones wants to do what Sam Darnold did and kind of rejuvenate his career, which look at Sam Darnold, but he just got the bag, right? So, I mean, Mac Jones, I don't think he affects Brock at all. I don't think he's even close to Brock. Yeah, Mac probably has a better arm. That's kind of it for me, I guess. But I like this signing. I don't think it affects Brock at all, though. Mac Jones is Mac Jones. He's not going to do anything to Brock. But I do like the signing, though, how we didn't get like a Jameis Winston or Grant. You even said Joe Flacco. I would have not wanted Joe Flacco. I would have much rather the Mac Jones. So I'm happy we didn't go that route and get Joe Flacco.
Just because of the age or what?
Yes, the age. Dude, he's so old, man. He's so old.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah, it's fair.
They could get him too, actually, if they wanted. But yeah,
they could.
QB3.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, to answer like the leverage part, I don't think it adds any leverage because they already have all the leverage. Like, what are you gonna do, Brock? Are you gonna sit? Okay, don't accrue a year, and then you're gonna be stuck, right?
Exactly.
And even if he threatens to like hold out for OTAs, it's like, oh, you want Mac Jones to get first string reps? Hey, God love you, thank you. We wanted to have a competition, but if you just want to let him do it, great.
Yeah, like, so I guess maybe in that sense it does, but I don't know. I see them playing hardball, and I see them saying 3 years, 115, 120 million, fully guaranteed, take it or leave it.
Say it again, 3 years, 100, how much?
Yeah, 115, 120.
Okay, so a little bit more than Darnold, or significantly more.
Yeah. I mean,
which is worth it.
It'd be like 40. It'd be like around 40 a year.
But a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Dude,
okay.
I just think I think they're gonna do that. Otherwise, they would have signed it already, Grant, right?
Yeah.
Like you would think, right? So I just think that that's how they're gonna play it, and they're gonna be like, sign it or leave it. Oh, you want to play on a $5 million contract this year and then franchise tag? Like the way I look at it is Kyle has to figure this out, and if he figures out for the long term, cool. But if he doesn't, like he's gonna get fired anyways. So he's probably like, either I figure it out the good way and we still have money to pay other players, or I'm fired and it doesn't matter anyways. You know, like I feel like that's how he's looking at it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Part of me feels like the Niners ownership is like looking for a reason to trade Brock and not pay him because they're trying to slash salary and he's going to be so expensive. But then we were just talking about, is this a full rebuild or a half rebuild? Mm-hmm. And if you trade Brock, it feels like a full rebuild. And say, look, we think Mac Jones at $7 million, 2 years can operate this offense.
And Mac Jones hasn't been on a good team in his whole NFL career.
It's true.
Like,
I mean, I'm saying maybe he can, but like that feels like a full rebuild. I feel like what the Niners are trying to do is like save this money to pay Brock and say, okay, well, we didn't make any splashy moves this offseason, but we had to pay our quarterback. This is what it looks like. We still have our core. We're still confident, as opposed to, hey, yeah, we gutted our team and our quarterback's Mac Jones now, but definitely renew those season tickets.
What do you think the percentages are for him getting paid, him playing out his contract, and him getting traded? What are the 3 percentages?
That's a good question.
Because it has to add up to 100, obviously. But what are those 3 percentages?
Okay.
Like, what's his trade percentage right now?
The trade percentage is if he insists that he's take no less than like $50 million a year. And I don't know that he would insist that.
Grant, I don't think any team's trading for Purdy, bro. I think the only people that think
20%. I think that Purdy says absolutely not. Bro. I think Josh Allen taking 55 and Darnold taking 33 might convince Brock and his agent to settle for something in the 40s.
Nobody's trading for Purdy. Like, I think only people.
There's a lot of teams that could.
Steelers, Vikings, Browns, Giants.
I feel the only people that think we're going to trade Purdy is 49ers fans. Like, if you ask a lot of other fans, no one's taking Purdy, bro. I don't know. I just think, no, we're not. There's no chance we're trading Purdy. I don't know what team would pick him up. You guys say Vikings.
What if you're Raiders? Like the Giants, though? What if you're like the Giants sitting at pick 3? You need a quarterback, and you trade for Brock, and you use that 3rd overall
I would rather
pick, and you draft Travis Hunter. Now you have Travis Hunter, Malik Neighbors, and Brock Purdy.
I understand that's good,
because at 3 you're not going to get a quarterback, right? At 3 is a chance you miss both.
Well, you could. I mean, most likely you're going to have Shador.
Okay, and they might prefer Brock.
Yeah, well, because if you go that route, you could have Brock and like a guy like Travis Hunter.
True.
But if you take Shador at 3, then you're just have Shador, right? And it's a rookie quarterback. So
it's
true. I just don't know. I don't know what team's gonna trade for the guy. I think the team. If the team actually traded for him, I would be absolutely shocked. I'd be shocked.
But again, I think the Niners can make this move. They absolutely can trade Brock Purdy because they signed Kyle Juszczyk today. So whether the quarterbacks, Brock, Mac, Tanner, I don't think it really matters. When you have a fullback who can literally do everything, I don't think it matters who your quarterback is anymore at that point.
Why don't we just trade? No. But why don't we just trade Purdy and put Juszczyk at quarterback?
Now you're talking. I think you should start a new offense, a fullback-centric offense.
Yeah.
Do you think that Kyle Shanahan is I mean, I know he likes Brock, but do you think he's telling Jed, like, you got to pay this guy? Or do you think he feels like, you can hold a hard line because I really like Mac too?
Don't rush.
Unless something has drastically changed, like, and I get there's been some change from what it looks like from the outside perspective, but it would have to be a massive change because we hear the story about him running upstairs. No, like, don't trade Ayuk. Keep him. We're going to sign him to this contract. So if he could do that with Ayuk, but he's not doing that with Purdy, like, you know what I mean? So
I don't think they're going to rush it. I don't know. I have a feeling like with Mac, I don't know. I feel like the Niners, hopefully they don't rush it. Like if Purdy's holding out, whatever, let Mac ball. Simple.
Yeah, I mean, they could trade him if someone offers something good for Purdy, or they could just say, look, dude, if you want to hold out, you're under contract. You can come back when you want. And if you hold out too long, you might just be the backup. I don't know. We'll see how Mac does.
I think Mac would actually do well. Like, I don't know. For me, I think he'd do well. He can't scramble, but
I think he'd do okay, but he'd have a couple Jimmy plays a game where you're just like,
he would.
Hands on your head as the ball's in the air.
So does Brock.
Though.
Okay, but you can't tell me Grant, when we would watch Jimmy play, it was every pass he threw, you're like,
that's true.
Like, you know what I mean?
It happened over time. You know what I mean? Like,
less of that.
It was more and more over time. I think with Brock, it was more last year than the year before, and it was a lot in the second half. Yeah. And I mean, he does it a lot in training camp. I question his decision making.
I'll give you that because last year,
but he's not Jimmy.
But before last year, when Brock would throw a deep ball, I'd be like, oh, he sees something. Last year, it was a little more like a little gaspy, but never. I've never felt the same way compared to Jimmy. Like I would gasp.
Also,
Jimmy was bad by the end. Yeah.
Mac can actually play in the rain and the snow. That's another thing. He can actually play in the rain and the snow. Purdy
he also played in a game in the snow and had 0 passing yards.
That's true.
Game. So I don't really know if we could say he could pass in the snow.
That was a classic Kyle Juszczyk performance. You know what I mean? It's like carrying the team.
Nick, I don't think Purdy would have done any better. There's no way Purdy would have done better. If Mac Jones had 0 passing yards, I think Purdy would have had 0 as well.
I think it's some people get all upset when you bring this up, but I would actually like to see a competition, and they don't have to call it a competition, but I want to see Mac with the starters because we've never seen him. I mean, we saw it in college; it looked really good, but we haven't seen Mac on a team with legit talent, and we've seen Brock on a team with legit talent. I just want to see what it looks like with Mac too, because the Niners never really got a good look at what they'd be with Darnold, and
just the waters.
I'm not sure that Purdy's better than Darnold. I don't know. We'll see.
It can't hurt.
No, it can't. But I think Purdy. Well, you asked me right now, is better Purdy or Mac Jones? I'm going to say Purdy. But you haven't even seen Mac Jones' full potential, and now he's on the Niners with some talent. Who's Mac Jones thrown to in his career? He's thrown to Brian Thomas Jr.,
Kendrick Bourne.
He's had absolutely no one. He brought the Patriots to the freaking playoffs one year.
Yeah.
So you never know. I would like to see that though. Little competition. I'd like to see that.
I'm just so not eager to spend a lot of money on a quarterback who's not elite. Like whether it's 30 million, 40 million, 50 million, I'd much rather have a quarterback on a 2-year, $7 million contract if I don't have Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes. I'm looking for any reason not to pay Brock. And it's not personal. I really like Brock as a player and as a guy. Like covering him has been a lot really, really cool. And he's down to earth. But come on, dude. No. It's just a bad football decision to pay a quarterback like that much money.
If he got the exact same deal as Darnold, would you think you got a steal?
No.
It'd be a solid move, but like the Bucks have Baker on that deal. Are they winning a Super Bowl?
That deal was also 3 years ago.
Yeah. It's like it's a good move, but you're not winning a Super Bowl like that. You're either winning a Super Bowl with a great quarterback or a cheap quarterback. The middle of the road guy, you could justify it and say he put up good numbers. He went to a Pro Bowl. We won 12 games. Okay, but you didn't win a Super Bowl, and you're not going to win a Super Bowl.
You have to sign the right free agents, and you have to absolutely ball out in the draft. Like that's how the Trent Dilfers of the world won a Super Bowl. So I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And someone in your chat said Brian Thomas is a no one. No, I don't think he's a no one. I think he's very good. I was just pointing that out there. I don't know why this guy thought.
But it's like Trevor Lawrence struggled throwing to him too. I mean, that organization sucks. Niner Way says, you guys sound like Madden general managers. No offense, but I don't take your Niners coverage serious. Cohn is our Skip Bayless. Love the food videos. Okay. Well, I don't like you either. Ethan M says, judging how this offseason is going, it seems like the Yorks knew all along what changes really needed to be done. Why did it take them so long? Yeah, I think they all figured out what we got to do is cut Juszczyk, take a $3.5 million dead cap hit, sign him again.
Do you know what's funny? We signed Juszczyk and Moody's still on the freaking team. How is Moody still on this team?
Dude, it's literally like draft
that
politics.
Too. That's what I think it is.
Politics.
We drafted him in the 3rd round, so that's why we're keeping Moody.
And with $88 million in dead cap, what are they going to sign a kicker? And the fans are going to be happy? Like, come on.
Yes,
it's going to be you'll be happy for a day. And then
do you think Jake Moody's going to be our starting kicker next?
You think Jake Moody's going to be the starting kicker this year?
Yes. Nick,
I think they're going to pick up an undrafted guy.
Okay.
Yes.
And there'll be like a competition. Well, I sincerely hope Moody's the kicker because I want.
Why would we sign a kicker? No.
I'm not saying sign a kicker. I'm just saying, like, oh yeah, Moody's great. I'm not saying sign a kicker, Nick. I'm just saying, like, Moody should be released.
Moody's great.
So
dude, as far as in Grant's head, Moody and Juszczyk are going to be all pros this year.
This is so good, dude. This is just content gold. All right, let's talk draft, though. So we've seen what the Niners are doing in free agency. Yeah. Power move left and right. Farrell, Juszczyk. They're like the Bash brothers. I mean, this is the McGuire and Canseco of additions. So what do you think they should do in the draft now? How does that sort of affect what they're looking for in the first few rounds?
Defensive line, offensive line. It's a must. Like an edge. I think that it's a must. Maybe linebacker too.
Yeah, I did a mock yesterday. While I was at work, and I went 4 out of the 11 picks. I went 4 tackles, defensive tackles, 3 edges, a wide receiver, a tight end, and a running back. I think is what I went.
Do you guys think we're gonna draft? Like, did you say linebacker?
No. Or it wasn't a tight end. It wasn't. It was a tackle.
Do you guys believe in D. Winters?
I think D. Winters is good, but the sleeper pick is Curtis Robinson. This guy before that injury, this guy was a stud. Like, I actually thought he could start next to Fred Warner. If he comes back anything like that, he's going to shock a bunch of Niner fans, and they're not going to be pouting over Dre Greenlaw. And I love Dre Greenlaw. He's a stud. One of my favorite players of all time to watch. Reminds me of the Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman days.
So you're saying Curtis Robinson's like Dre Greenlaw?
Curtis Robinson, he's going to look great this year. As long as he can stay healthy, I think he's going to shock a bunch of Niner fans, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, Nick, this draft, now it's purely offensive line, defensive line. Like it's a must. I don't care trading back edges, that whole just defensive line, offensive line. That's the biggest thing we have to worry about. It's like, biggest thing, and maybe draft a kicker. Shout out Grant.
Yeah, I would love to see them look into trading back though to like 15 and get Walter Nolan or Kenneth Grant and try and snag a second or third out of it.
Mason Graham falls to.
I got a question for you guys.
Hit me.
When it comes to offensive tackle in particular, it's such a difficult position to draft.
Yes.
And I feel like the Niners' philosophy is like, look, if we can draft Trent Williams or if we can draft Trent Williams, we're interested. Otherwise, we're not taking the position at all. Maybe we'll touch it in round 5 because we have such high standards, which is such a weird thing that you have such high standards that your starter is Colton McKivitz. Doesn't make any sense. So I'm like, why is Kelvin Banks not the pick? He's probably going to be there at 11. If he's there at 11, I know some people are down on him. 6'5", 33.5-inch arms. Why is he not the pick? Tell me.
Grant, there's I don't know if I think it was like a mock draft. They had Will Campbell falling to 13. So Will Campbell's there or Kelvin? Who do you want?
His 32-inch arms do scare me. That's a I don't know how you guys feel about that. That's kind of scary.
It does not scare me.
No.
Tell me why.
If he's good at blocking, who cares?
Off the top of my head, I forgot the names, but he has the same. I'm pretty sure him and Trent actually have the same inch arms. Like
I'll look
that. And yeah, he has the same inch arms as 2 all pros. I forgot their names off the top of my head, but I think Trent's one of them. But how he moves, because he moves so well that the short arms don't bother me. Like he bullied SEC like ends and tackles. Like he bullied them.
So he has 2-inch. His Trent's hands are 34. Will
Arms.
Campbell's 32. Arms. Yeah, no, arms. I mean,
yeah, 32 is a little. It's going to be tough for him in
32,
pass
34.
protection against some of these edge rushers who have long arms. But as a run blocker, he should be great.
Yeah, I think he's going to be fine. I like him. I'm kind of one of the guys that's like, I'm not down on Kelvin Banks, but Maj likes him more than me.
What do you not like about him?
I would rather them go Walter Nolan over Kelvin Banks. He doesn't move very well. Like he moves okay and good enough to where he could be a good player. I'm not saying he can't. I just don't think he moves good enough to where you replace Trent Williams with him.
Yeah, he's not like a great athlete. He's like a solid athlete.
Yeah. He's just like he's just an average. Like Membu's a better athlete. I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know.
That's true.
I think Kelvin Banks has good footwork. I think he's fast.
He has good footwork. He's just not athletic like.
Yeah, you're in the 515, which is okay.
Yeah.
All of his testing numbers were like okay.
The one thing I'm scared about
that worries me.
The one thing thing I'm scared about with Kelvin Banks is he's kind of injury prone. Like he's not injury prone, but like I remember watching Texas games. This guy like every 3 games he'd be down holding his knee. So I'm kind of scared about that too.
Yeah.
I got a name for you guys at offensive tackle. If they're not going to go offensive tackle round 1 and they're going to try to draft a guy late to be a swing tackle and maybe with some traits to possibly develop into a starter, have you guys heard of Holland Pierce?
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah. Yeah, he's just
6'8", 340 pounds, like 30.
That's a massive human being.
I mean, it's kind of what the Eagles did with Jordan Mailata. Just take a dude with traits. I mean, Trent Brown once upon a time was that dude.
There's another guy out of Oregon State too. He has like 2 last names, so you don't like him, Grant, already. But,
I hate him off my board right now.
His last name's like Lichtenhahn, and he's 6'9". He would be the tallest.
Gerard Christian Lichtenhahn. Yeah,
yes,
he's 6'8".
Yes. Yeah. Yeah,
interesting.
He's huge.
Good pull.
Yeah, that's another one. But Hollins Pierce is a stud. I do like that, and if you can get him in the 5th, 6th round, it would be an absolute steal.
Only thing is, like, it seems like this year there's a lot of depth on the D line in the draft. That you could get a good edge rusher in round 2 or 3 and a good D tackle in round 2 or 3. You don't necessarily have to go D line in round 1, although that could be the way to go since it's a need and there could be the best. It could be the best player available.
You can. I just think the edges and tackles, like defensive tackles in 1st and 2nd round, those are going to be like difference makers. Like you could find a guy that's like aren't they rumored to be interested in the edge from UCLA who's going to be there in round 3? Oladejo.
Do you like him?
So he's projected to go in round 3, although maybe that's old news.
No, that's new news. He was originally projected like 5th or 6th. Now he's he's moving up to 3rd, and he's an athletic beast. I love him. I love how he moves. He has good pass rush moves already, and if he could learn from Bosa, he would be a stud. I really think he'd be really good.
Nick, would you want the Niners to trade back and draft Gray Zabel from North Dakota?
Dude, I've said
this in round 1?
No, you're drafting. If you could draft Gray Zabel early round 2.
It's got to be someone who can play.
No. I understand that, but Gray Zabel.
Dude, Gray Zabel played 4 out of 5 positions at North Dakota State. Grant.
He played a quarterback in middle school.
Did he really?
He did. He said that at the combine. Yeah, he did.
Nick, he's going up in the draft boards. Nick, I saw a mock draft. Gray Zabel went 23rd.
Nah,
he's not going to the second round.
I think he's going to go in the 40s.
Hold on. So if they go edge in round 3 with Oladejo, go edge in round 3 with Oladejo, round 2 they could go D tackle. Whoever is there a D like Tyleek Williams or Alfred Collins? Is there someone you like there?
Alfred Collins.
Collins is good. There's I also
would Derek Harmon last that long?
I don't, dude. I would love Harmon in the 2nd round. I also don't know when the tackle from Indiana, CJ West, dude. I think they're gonna get him. I really do think the Niners are gonna target him. I don't know if he's gonna be like a 3rd or 4th, but man, is he good. Also around that time, Jordan Phillips, I think is his
They
name.
got him
out
at
of Maryland.
96 right now on draft tag.
He's good.
Climbing quickly. So what do you know about CJ West? They could get him with their comp pick in round 3.
Yeah, he moves and he can hold 2 gaps. He moves so well and so fluid. And dude, if you watch Indiana's tape against even when they were in the college football playoff, if he goes off the field for a play, you're like, yeah, he's off the field because they just get that line just gets dominated. But when he's on the field,
he ran a 4.95 at 316 pounds. Okay,
dude, when he's on the field, he just dominates. Like you're not running the ball at him. You're just not.
Is there any chance Membu falls to us or no?
Yeah, I think it's pretty high, but I the same chance that he falls to us is the same chance I think he's getting taken at 4.
I don't know. I think people
think the Niners can trade up
too much.
No, absolutely not.
Please don't
I think
trade up.
Jed would have a gun.
You could take 11 and Ayuk.
No,
Grant, but I think in this draft it's kind of
Carolina. You want Ayuk?
It's not a trading. It's not a trading up draft. Like you don't trade up in this draft. Like you're getting the same player at 15 at 32. Like this draft is so deep.
And pick 11's a great spot.
Exactly.
Okay, so hold on. I'm working backwards. We just got 2 D linemen picked in round 3. Oladejo and CJ West. I like those. Yeah. Now, do the Niners need to take 2 defensive tackles in the first 3 rounds? Or are they going to start Jordan Elliott?
I think they have to take an edge.
Have to take an edge in addition to Oladejo.
Oladejo's an edge, no?
I mean,
he's a converted edge.
No, Oladejo's an edge. Yeah, but if you don't, I mean, he played like so many positions. The guy's moved like 4 different positions in college. But if you don't take an edge in the first 2 rounds, Grant, then you're banking on a team not falling in love with him and
hoping that Oladejo's there.
Up. Yeah. So that's the only thing that worries me about that. And I do think the edges from Oladejo on, like round 3, round 4 on, there's a gap. I'll say. I
like Landon Jackson in round 2.
I do like Landon Jackson. I
like Landon Jackson in round 2. He's big. He's got a great motor.
Yeah.
Good against the run.
What about that Hussein guy out of Boise State? He's from Egypt.
I don't know him as well.
I saw him at the combine. Was he the guy that was getting hyped with the guy?
Yeah.
I saw him too. I don't know much about him, but his energy seems sick. I like him.
Yeah, I think he's got potential. But okay. So Grant, what's your question? So assuming we take it Oladejo in round,
if the Niners can somehow like take care of their 2 D line picks in round 3, what do they do in round? What could they do in round 1? Would they take Jihad Campbell or Jalen Walker in round 1, like a linebacker in round 1? Would they go?
I would love to see them take Will Campbell and make sure Jason Pinnock never steps foot on a field
it's like that. Talk about Jason Pinnock for a second.
Yeah, he's awful. Okay.
Wow.
This is how you know he's bad though, Grant. Is because last year when the Niners needed help at the cornerback spot, right? And or was it last year? Or was it the year before? They were talking to a bunch of teams, okay? And one of the teams they were talking to was the Giants, and they almost made a trade right before the deadline. I don't know if you remember this. It was 5 minutes before the deadline. They were on the phone and they had the trade in place, but they didn't get it through to the NFL in time, so the trade didn't go through. And it was for Adoree Jackson, okay? And Adoree Jackson just went to Philly for a cheap contract. So if you could get Adoree Jackson, who you wanted to trade for in the get-go, and you're going to settle with his the worst corner in Pinnock, like this is Isaiah Oliver all over again. I don't ever want to see this man on the field.
Oof.
Ever.
Isaiah Oliver, don't diss him. He was so amazing.
Well, then maybe they should take a safety in round 1 or 2.
Makuba.
Yeah, Makuba would be sick. But
Makuba.
Yeah.
Who's the safety who just destroyed the combine?
Makuba.
What's his name?
Combine. Emmanuel.
Is that guy
from South Carolina? Yeah.
South Carolina? Yeah.
Yeah, Nick.
That guy was
Nick Emmanuel.
Yeah. He's a freak.
Give me Makuba.
He's a freak, but I like Makuba. If you're gonna go later in the draft, I like Alabama safety Malachi Moore, I think is his name. I like him.
Do you think the Niners will take a running back in the first 3 rounds?
Well,
no.
This is funny because
you don't.
No, it's too deep. It's too deep. If you get Ollie Gordon in the 4th or 5th round, what the hell are you doing taking a running back? Okay. Let me pause.
Yep.
If you can get Travion Henderson or Judkins in the third round,
Cam Scatterbo.
you run that card up to the table.
Okay.
Even Scatterbo I'd take, but Judkins.
What
and
about
Henderson
Caleb Johnson?
He's good. He's really good, man.
See, I think Kyle's going to take one of those guys in round 3.
Do you guys think?
Here's. Let me tell you why I think Kyle's going to do it.
Okay.
Jordan Mason's good, but he hasn't proven he can carry the load over a long period of time in college or the pros. Same with Isaac Guerrero.
Yeah.
So if McCaffrey goes down, you're in a very precarious spot, just like last year, where you don't have someone who can carry a run first team.
I mean, neither has Grando, I guess, to that exact point.
Neither has Guerrero. And as much as I like Jordan Mason, he's never been that guy. Not even in Georgia Tech.
Do you guys think
always
we're
in
going
a
to draft Cam Scatterbo? Like, because Cam Scatterbo, he's supposed to Grant, we talked about it before. Like, he could come in and be a fullback since Juice is gone.
Dude, yeah.
I saw him in person. He's a running back. He's 5'9". But I could see Kyle liking him. I mean,
he's sick, bro. People got to stop disrespecting him.
He's a good player. He's a good player. And he has the high usage.
Good.
He could carry the offense. If freaking McCaffrey goes down, he could do it.
I just think there's so many good players late. Like you could get
Agreed.
like and I mean, like I said, if Henderson or Judkins fall to your pick, like you better take him in round 3. You really better do it. But I mean, even Caleb Johnson, right? But I just think like Kyle Monangi out of Rutgers is an absolute stud. You have I think his name's Woody Marks, the USC running back. Like that guy can catch the ball like no tomorrow. He's quick. Gives you something you don't necessarily really have, the quickness.
Kyle Monangi.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Yeah. But there's Ollie Gordon, like there's so many good players. Taj Brooks out of Texas Tech. Like there's just
like Bucky Irving went round 4 last year.
Yeah, man, he's good. He's good.
Yeah. You don't have to, but it's Kyle we're talking about here. So
yeah,
sorry.
I don't think the Niners are going to draft someone. I don't think the Niners are going to draft a running back like in the first 3 rounds. I think it's going to be late. Like it's.
What about a tight end? Are they going to get a tight end now that they've brought back Juszczyk and Farrell?
So.
Please, Gunnar Helm. Give me Gunnar Helm. I'm joking.
I do not want Gunnar Helm.
I'm joking.
Colson Loveland at 11.
Hell no. Nah, dude,
at 11.
Who do you like better, Loveland or Warren?
I like Loveland more.
Why?
And I would say, dude, I was just watching his tape yesterday too, again, but he just moves so smooth. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's like he moves like he when he lines up, he looks like a receiver and he moves like a receiver. He doesn't look like a tight end. Like
Nick, would you draft him?
And Warren's good. Yeah.
Would you draft him 22nd? Like 22nd, we trade back. You want to draft him?
Yes.
You want to draft the tight end first round? After everything that just happened. I understand,
Loveland.
but we don't need a tight end. We do not. I understand Colson Loveland.
Let him answer.
Okay.
You're saying we don't need a tight end. We barely even have a wide receiver room. Can you imagine lining up Kittle on the end and then flexing out Colson Loveland
with Juszczyk on the field too?
That's great. But
if
what
I hear that name one more time in this podcast, that would be so hard to stop, though.
Nick, but we don't have an offensive line. We still don't have an offensive line.
But if you trade back to 22, you're picking up another second round pick. Now you have 2 second round pick, 2/3.
Sure, I don't know. I'd rather just draft
if you can't put together an offensive line at that point, you are horrible at drafting.
I'm horrible at drafting.
Sure.
No.
Daniel Edelman says D-line plus linebacker fixed in draft. Green's better than Ward. Mustafa's better than Hufanga. Offense improved. All caps. Debo was liability. Barch plus Pooney better than Banks. And SPC special teams is vastly improved. Boom.
I hope so.
Plus Juszczyk. Plus Juszczyk. You didn't even mention their biggest move of the offseason, Daniel. Niner Gang says if the quarterback's not worth 2 top 5 money, you don't pay him.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
If he's not
There's something to that. Although
so then you have
counterpoint is Jalen Hurts. But
yeah, that's a good point. And then you have 27 teams in a constant rebuild searching for a quarterback?
Hell yeah. That's the world I want to live in.
Yeah. A top 5 pick in a draft would go for 7 first round draft picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that point.
Jed better not let Kyle choose any top picks, says Ethan M.
Probably will.
Who's picking the players in free agency?
Yeah.
Anyway. Bold prediction for the pick at 11 before we get out of here.
Bold prediction.
Colson Loveland. Nick just said
it's not going to be.
Not who you would take, but who do you think is going to end up being?
I would hate this just because character, but it's
yes,
Mike Green. No,
Mike Green?
not James Pierce. Yeah, Mike Green. I could see them doing it.
But it's not character.
They're
I
not
want
going to
it. I
take
don't
Mike
want
Green.
I
They're
do not want
not going to take Mike Green.
Dude,
No
but
way.
It's not character
I've seen some
issues.
rumors, man, and I don't want
Oh, because they coached him at the Senior Bowl?
I mean that, and
Dude.
like we had a meeting with them also. I can
Nick,
see
is it
it.
character issues? It's not character issues. It
Is.
it's
That's
his-
great at the combine. That
Google
was the only
it.
question getting
Google
asked.
it.
Yeah.
Google
Okay.
2 accusations
Jay-
is bad.
No,
He didn't get in trouble, but
know
I
the
just don't think the
accusation-
Niners want to answer those questions at that press conference. I don't
Yeah.
think they want all the
And
people.
can you imagine he's a bust on top of it?
It's not going to happen.
Plus,
I
you
would
with the
think James
Marshall-
Pierce is more likely.
Yes.
Although I don't
Nick.
know what his quote unquote issues are. They could be worse. I don't know
But
what
there's
I
they're.
think they're
no
worse.
chance. There's no chance you're drafting him at 11 when you could trade back to 28 and get him.
Okay.
Don't let him
That's
fall
fair.
to the Eagles.
Yeah.
So
There's
we're
no
talking
way.
Kelvin Banks. Will Campbell. It might be Will Campbell, man. With those
It's gonna be
32-inch
Will
arms, he
Campbell.
just might fall to the Niners.
It's
I
gonna be
think
Will
I
Campbell.
think Membu's gonna go top 10, and I
Mm-hmm.
think Will Campbell, and I could see Mason Graham fall, both of them.
Yep.
And
A
then
couple of
in
short
that
arm
case-
T-Rexes. Niners can
in
take
that
their
case-
pick.
Yeah, in that case, you have a pick between 4 or 5 people. Like you could go Will Johnson, Kenneth Grant, even Walter Nolan. Like you have a plethora of people you could pick from. How could you screw that up? I just don't.
Yeah, and like if you don't reach too much, you can tell yourself you're getting the 9th best player in the draft because I'm sure the Niners don't have Shadur Sanders or Cam Ward. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. It's possible those guys aren't in their top 10,
Well, they shouldn't
Uh,
be.
right? So they can
Unless
say, well,
Cam
those
Ward
two guys are
falls.
going to go high. So we're technically getting the 9th best player on our board. You got to be true to that.
Yeah.
100%.
I guess also the best hope is that Shador does fall to 11 because if he does, there's going to be teams that'll trade up and pay a hefty price.
Okay,
for
I
that
thought you were just about to say draft Shador. I was like, there's
pick. No.
there's
Anthony
no-
Garcia says in the last 5 drafts, outside of Pooney and Banks, the O-line picks have been garbage. It's
I mean,
hopeful
they haven't
to
picked.
think they'll draft right this one.
We have pick 11. Please just draft.
But how
pick
many
11.
offensive linemen have they picked?
Exactly.
Well,
not much.
Like,
They
he's
took
not
McGlinchey with the
wrong,
9th pick. That's not who you want at
No,
pick
for
9.
sure. But outside of that, it's like they've drafted Banks and Ben
It's true.
Barch.
They took Kinlaw
like they
over
really-
Wirfs.
Yeah, but they really haven't even drafted any offensive linemen. They've had like 5 picks of offensive linemen in their entire team.
Yeah. They got the Burford, Moore, McKivitz. They do okay in round 5.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even Barch was 6 or 7.
Yeah. So
No.
they're probably
Will
going to take an
Campbell.
offensive tackle in round 5 or 6,
Fuck,
knowing the Niners.
that's crazy.
Knowing the Niners, they go
If
what?
that happened, bro, oh my god.
guard in round 3, tackle in round 5, D tackle round 1, DN round 2, running back round 3.
Oh, if that happened, I
Serious.
swear to God, there's no
Yeah.
way. That would suck.
Well, if you just tuned in, the Niners made the move of the offseason, signed a
Let's
9-time
go.
Pro Bowler this morning. We've
Wait,
been
Grant-
9 Pro Bowls.
Grant,
$8 million,
actual
9 Pro Bowls. That's the kind of value you can only get on the Niners. So they win
Grant-
again. Business 101. It's exciting. Super Bowl season. Super Bowl or bust.
Grant, actual question, like genuinely, how do you
Yeah.
feel about this move? Troll off. How do you like this move for the Niners? Because I saw your video, but I didn't actually watch it. Troll off. How do you like this Kyle Juszczyk signing? Don't
I
troll.
mean,
Don't do it.
I mean, I thought it was a great move when they got rid of him. I couldn't believe that
Okay.
they'd actually bring him back. So
It shocked me.
I'm
Another
shocked.
question: is there anybody else even eligible to become a Pro Bowler at the fullback position? Because it doesn't really. seem
No,
like
it's
that at
just
this
you.
point.
He's bro. It's
It's
just
him and Patrick Ricard, right? And they both make it every year. It's just those two guys.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
He's a
They have
nine-time
I don't
They have
understand why it's still a
starter
Pro
and
Bowl
alternate.
position.
Yeah, starter and alternate. I
So
don't know.
stupid, man. It's so dumb. This is such
All
a
right, I'm gonna go call my dad and break the news to him. Thanks
Hey,
for
somebody in chat just said, "Who's the kicker?" Can you answer that, Grant?
use check.
It's
What do you think they're paying him for?
Who's the quarterback?
Use check.